Minister, I welcome the opportunity to speak again on this bill, and once again my focus today is on the exemption for pyrite-affected properties. I welcome the intention to provide an exemption for a period of 3 years for residential properties that have been affected by pyrite, and these are mostly centred in my constituency of Dublin North. It represents yet another half step towards rectifying the pyrite crisis. However, I am asking for more than half steps. We need bigger leaps forward, Minister. This amendment bill provides for a methodology for assessing the assessment of residential properties and the testing of subfloor hardcore material to establish the presence of significant pyritic damage. In making this regulation, the Minister shall have regard to the new standards published by the National Standards Authority of Ireland. Firstly, I contend that these regulations are too restrictive for the purposes of allowing an exemption for this local property tax. These regulations mean that only those meeting the restrictive requirements of the red category from the Pyrite Panel's report will qualify for an exemption. Minister, it doesn't matter if a household is in the green, amber or red category. If the house has any level of pyrite, or if the house is in a pyrite-affected estate, it is effectively valueless as it is unsellable. Secondly, some homeowners have already paid for tests which have proved the presence of pyrite before these new standards were published. Those families need definitive assurances in this bill that their test results will stand to be valid for the purposes of the exemption. Thirdly, in my experience, the majority of homeowners are unable to afford the tests. They just do not have the money. These homeowners need some breathing space, Minister. The Pyrite Resolution Board is just beginning its work, and it will be administering a fund for pyritic remediation. From this fund, I am lobbying for money to be set aside for hard-pressed families to pay for testing as well as the remediation process itself. Many homeowners know they have pyrite and the adverse effects are so obvious, but they simply cannot afford the few €1,000 required to get the test done. If these homeowners were given the exemption, it would allow enough space for the Pyrite Resolution Board to assist with testing costs, which would, in almost all suspected cases, I believe, prove the presence of significant pyritic damage. We know where the estates are, Minister, from the work of the Pyrite Panel. If you are free any time, Minister, we can go for a drive to North County Dublin and we can visit the estates and individual homes affected. In the overall picture, at a national level, the number of houses and estates affected is quite small. As you have said yourself, Minister, we are exceeding our budgetary targets as set by the Troika, and due to the negotiation skills of yourself and other government ministers, we have renegotiated the promissory notes and have given ourselves €1 billion worth of budgetary breathing space. We have enough space to relax the exemption requirements for pyrite-affected householders and estates to ensure all those affected can avail of this exemption. By time limiting the exemption, you are ensuring all actors, especially the Pyrite Resolution Board, act in an expedient manner to assist householders to rectify their homes. And this is indeed what is required at this time. I believe this is the fairest thing to do, and I would ask that this bill be amended accordingly. I urge you, Minister, to put yourself in the shoes of the pyrite-affected homeowners and bring back an amendment to the effect that all houses in non-remediated pyrite-affected housing estates will be exempt from the property tax. There is no market for such houses until they are remediated and certified as being pyrite-free, then they have zero value. But the legislation does not allow for self-valuation at zero level. Minister, there is general goodwill towards the government in its efforts to deal with the pyrite crisis, and you can build on that goodwill with a positive response on this matter today. The lost revenue for such a response will be quite minuscule and only for a limited period of time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Deputy.